And I hope that there's no sticky commands on stream elements right now that prevent me from uploading that silly thing. I do hope the mission goes smoothly as well, but hey, you know, there's probably going to be some memery somewhere somehow, so we'll just get right to it at that point. I'm looking for a sticky note to write down highlights. It looks like I'm out, so I have to pull a new one from my little pad. Probably going to spend the time in between this stream and the POG stream organizing a few things, and then maybe some more mission dev for the Pay for Pain. But otherwise, got the server all ready to go. I had to re-upload all the files. It's been pretty funny to watch, but we'll see how everything goes with that.
Inspiration.
All right, so Manderson, thanks for the Twitch Prime sub, and Zevik, thanks for the 7-month resub. I hope you, I hope this content is gonna continue to stay worthy of your inspiration, and I hope you both keep enjoying all the stuff I do, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this dev stream. So we got a bet going. Blue 4 is the U.S. side. Russians are the U.S. Excuse me. Russians are the Op4 side. All right, I gotta roll it back for a second, but that's a-okay. No delay because OFCRA for I think the past month and a half has allowed me to stream without that delay, which has been nice. But it's just pretty simple. Russians are attacking. Blue form seems to be defending. I don't know where the capture zone is. I would assume it's somewhere by the device. Yep. So the scientist has to be in that zone by the end of the op, so Blue 4 can score the points tied with keeping the scientist alive. However, the main, I believe 5 points are going to be assigned to the device. If it stays alive, Blue 4 gets 5 points. If the Russians destroy it, they gain 5 points. Scientist is in the capture zone. Blue 4 gains 2 points if Op 4 kills the scientist. Op 4 gets 2 points, and if the scientist just isn't in the zone, then no one gets the points for that objective. And then there's a supremacy bonus of if the US/Blue 4 side kills 5 or all but 5 or less of the Op 4 Russian forces, they gain 2 points, and then vice versa for the Russian side.
Hello,
so
Liru.
We'll have to see how everything goes with that. Onion, thanks for the 7-month resub. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, my friend, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Otherwise, other things that have been happening over the past 12 hours, other than completely re-uploading mods to my server to try to figure out why it's being weird and my hosting company is being weird. We edited a bunch of footage. I've got a lot that I probably have like 2 or 3 weeks of footage I could front log if I needed to and upload like 2 to 3, even 4 times a day, which is nice. I just don't like building front logs because YouTube's algorithm doesn't always appreciate it. I looked a little more into some Arma 3 Escape from Tarkov style stuff. Found everything I needed to start writing some pretty elaborate shop scripts. And I started looking at both Chernarus Redux and Altis Redux to find where I want to develop things. I think I'm going to start with Chernarus Redux for like the testing of it. Just because there's 2 areas both in Cherno and the Northwest Airfield that are really cool and I could do stuff out of. I could also do a mini-map out of Bolota. But we'll see how things go with that because the focus is more so on the scripture, and that might actually be done really quickly. I have a collab with Karma Cut coming up. That's on, I believe, the 23rd of October. I sent him a mod list for his approval. Ferdy agreed on a concept to do. Now what I need to do is build a roster for him, put the assets down, because I think he said all the mods were fine. He doesn't want to add any additional because it covers everything that we talked about. So I'm told him I'll get him a mission file and I guess a roster as well by Monday. This Sunday I'm going to take the day off and go apple picking with Bloodwing. We're also going to go to a few nurseries for trees and shit and see if we can get a few plants so I can start my indoor garden. Pay for Pain is mostly done. Again, server's all up and ready to go, and I'm going to be using it for server-side testing, which is great. And yeah, we'll probably do a dev stream Friday morning before FNF and just fill our pre-orders in and whatnot. So that'll probably be from like 11 a.m. or noon to 3 p.m. just before FNF. And I didn't get to a dev stream this morning, Willow, because I was up till like 4 a.m. reinstalling stuff on my server, and I slept until like 11. So didn't have anything to go with that. How did I get in on the Tarkov project? It's an Arma Tarkov project. I just, so it's funny. Barbarian has a Tarkov-style op being run this Saturday, and that's what kind of inspired me to go, like, wait, hold on. He's actually onto something here. So now I'm going to build my own. I've already looked at the 2 scenarios for that. I've talked with one of the devs for one of them. I might have another talk with one of the other devs who reached out to me and talk to them about a few scripts in there, but I've already dissected one of the mission files, looked at how everything works, what they have, and there's actually a lot of cool stuff we could do with it. But for now, some of the really daunting tasks of building drop tables and shopkeep tables, I've looked at where everything is in that, and I've already started construction, which is going to be pretty nice. Otherwise, we're waiting for the mission to clear through. You'll hear a little lag spike as I get loaded into TFAR, as well as, like, 80 to 85 other players. Let me actually verify that real quick. Are we still on 81, or has that grown? Yep, we're up to 86 now. So this will be an 85-player PvP, which is always kind of nice. And since this is US versus Russia, I thought it would be kind of cool if we played Red Alert 2's soundtrack. Because it fits, and it doesn't get copyrighted. And I haven't played it in a while, so I was like, hey, why not? But otherwise, the issue I found with Redux is... Actually, yeah, as Moshpit described, some of the areas are a little tough for AI to maneuver. That's why I want to use it as, like, a testing zone for the concept, but I'll probably change it to Altis Redux, which is a post-apocalyptic style version of Altis, to get more missions out of it, because it's, I just want to keep it small scale for now and then adapt it, but I think Northwest Airfield and Chernogorsk would be great maps for something like that, just to test things out. Plus, Ravage can be a little funky with those areas, but we'll just have to see. I'm trying to think. Anything else? Nah, I've got to also start thinking about the checkpoint RP we're running in a few weeks. I'm going to get that documentation done by this weekend. I'm also going to start looking at the next MCO's documentation and try to get it out by next Wednesday. There's a lot of things I need to do. So... I don't think it's called Altis Redux, it's called something else, but it basically turns Altis into like a post-apocalyptic, big bad thing just happened, which will give it that, that Tarkov feel. But I think it's called something else. I have it somewhere in the 500 or 600 mods I have downloaded for various reasons. Yeah, it might be Derelict. No, you're right. It's Derelict. My bad. Thanks, Moshpit.
Let's give him a warm welcome, shall we?
But we'll see how everything goes. There's a lot of potential development for that one. Otherwise, let's get off of that concept. This is, you're hearing everyone being loaded into the TFAR channel, which is always really funny. Why am I locked on
Hello?
this? Tab in and tab out because it's locking my yeah, there we go. Okay, I just had to tab in and tab out because my alt key got stuck. It sometimes does that, but otherwise, again, this will be a defense of a device. The device is worth 5 points. If Blue 4 keeps it alive, they get the 5 points. If Op 4 destroys it, it is they give 5 points to Op 4. And once again, my alt key is stuck. Why is it doing that? Because it's supposed to be like this. Whatever. I'll work with this. This is just one of the various spectator modes I sometimes have to deal with. But Blue 4 is basically just your standard RHS US force. Up for your RHS AFRF force. But otherwise, I think Falcon is playing as the HVI again, which is going to be really funny because last time he played HVI, he played Ring Around the Rosie with a bunch of Op4 guys screaming for help, and they weren't able to give it to him. I'd imagine he's up here with this force. And yep, he is that specially marked scientist.
There's a very specific reason why I did that.
So he is dressed completely differently from everyone else, but he is going to be the guy that all of Op4 is trying to eliminate. Funny enough, he has a Grenadier vest, so he doesn't have a any sort of UGL, which is kind of funny. But otherwise, this is a pretty simple PvP operation. So there's nothing too hard here. But I'm seeing that Blue 4 doesn't really have anything beyond some shielded 50 cal Humvees. Looking at Blue 4's weaponry, we've got Moz's, M136s, mostly CCO 68 scopes, which are just simple red dots, some 320 GL systems, with the squad leaders also have ACOGs. We have some DMRs in the form of Mark 11s. Long-range radios, which would be a given. And I'm not really seeing any other specialized equipment other than a little bird with a 7.62 gun pod on it. Alright, so a little bit of CAS. Not really anything to defeat vehicles, but definitely to strafe infantry. And then you got all the 50 cal Vics right here. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's actually quite a bit of 50 cal for this group to utilize. And the standard cup spawned bunker from ZEC, which you can actually find now built into, I believe, Cup itself, because they absorbed that mod. It was called ZEC Cup. And the escort team coming in with the scientist has a single Humvee that is also armed with the 50 cal, so there's 650 cal Vics total.
I'm gonna have to hide in this.
Alright, looking over at OP4 here. We'll get into player counts too, so, but already noteworthy Falcon is over there, and we'll see where Rodrigue is if he's on the server. So OP4 here, we're seeing 545 based weaponry, some PSO scopes for some of the leadership elements with some GP25s, PKPs. Real quick, I'm gonna look back. I didn't actually see what automatic rifle, well, they're technically automatic. Okay, so they're mirroring it by doing 240 Bravos, and it looks like they're cable tying one so the other guy can get more ammo because that's AI. So it's gonna be, both sides have medium machine guns in the form of 7.62 caliber, which is, it's pretty fair actually. On Blue 4 side, you've got, you know, 308, the 7.62 by 54 NATO, and then OP4 is 7.62 by 54 for the PKM. Actually, no, in this case it's a PKB, but they also have RPGs. I would assume we're also going to see some RPG 26s. And I'm also seeing some PSO scopes. I'm actually not seeing any 26s, but that might be part of the other team, because these guys might just be the weapon squads. Otherwise, we've got multiple armed gases. I would assume the GMG is unscripted, and we also have a BTR. I believe that's either a 70 or an 80, but either way, 14.5 millimeter with a 7.62 coax, which is a pretty nice pick. And the other OP4 group for Russia is down here. So Blue 4, it looks like they're going to have total air support here. This group, though, has just a few more armed gases with PKPs, and I'm not seeing any RPG 26s, so it looks like Blue 4 are just being given additional AT to deal with the BTR potentially, which I guess is smart, but OP4 doesn't really have much in terms of AA, but it's a little bird, so it doesn't take much to knock it out. And we are seeing SVDs in play as well. Alright, so let's go over the list here. We were at OP4, so we got Mikhail commanding, he's at the other airfield, Skipu, Giovanni, Despo, Syak, some of these guys you see in FNF as well. I'm trying to see if we see players like Ziki or Zixme. Some really heavy hitters. 6EME is pretty, I mean, all of these guys are pretty good in their own right, to be perfectly honest. Brewer can also pull some really good stuff. Ibanek, he's on the multi. If you do exclamation point multi, you can watch him play. Sixor, and here's Ziki. All right, so Ziki is one of the really, really good ones that we like to watch. I always get him confused with Zixme, which is, you know, slightly different spelling there, but those two are very, very good. Otherwise, looking over at Blue 4, we have Manchot, who's the head honcho of OFCRA itself. He is commanding Blue 4, followed by PHK, who is also a really good player. Looks like he's going to be a pilot, and he's equipped with an MP7. Falcon is the HVI, who's marked as an AT member, being led by Bluck, who is also pretty good. I'm seeing some newer names right here, names I don't recognize, so can't say what's going to go down. FAWR is also here. Fleesh, there's Zixme. Yep, so these two are pretty good. Merdy, Rizbo, Rigel, Emir. Nemesis is also playing under Blue 4. We got a blank name, which I think that's just an AI that's glitched out, funny enough. Garrett, Bob Winchester, Goatlin, Nubass. Back to the House, also pretty good. So it's, both sides have a good mix of players. But if you like to bet on Falcon, bet Blue 4. If you want to see Falcon get eliminated, bet OP4. I don't see Rodrigue anywhere. He might not be on today, but I would laugh my ass off if they paired Rodrigue in the team that's escorting Falcon in.
I'm going to look through the roster one more time in case I missed Roderick. We also got Pogo underscore here, who's pretty good. Benares, who's also here. I don't see Roderick on today. Here, let me control F. Yeah, no, Roderick isn't on in the TeamSpeak server, so he is not on today to bully Falcon, unfortunately. But otherwise, going over asset advantages, so Blue 4 has a 762 helicopter, which, honestly, in the right hands, I think PHK is competent enough to fly something like that, so I think he'll be okay. I don't know why I hear someone in the channel, but no one should have died yet. But I think we could see some really good hit and runs with this vehicle. But another thing to note is those Gazes aren't as bulletproof as these Humvees. So these have the bolted on windows. The Gaz glass actually can shatter to like 7.62. And it's not the best bulletproof glass in the world, but it can tank smaller calibers pretty well. So Blue 4 definitely have the better cars. But that BTR can be a significant threat. However, any of these 50 cal cars can defeat it if they get a good angle on it. If that BTR is put on a good overwatch position, though, it can completely tear apart this upper tower, which is part of the area that Falcon needs to hide. So I'd imagine he'd probably go down and hide in one of these lower end bunkers. But we'll just have to see what play he makes. But I'm going to be honest, asset-wise, it's leaning a little more towards Blue 4. I don't really know what else to say beyond that. I mean, they also have 136s as a squad level AT on top of Maz's. You see some 136s here and the Maz as well. But otherwise, it's pretty uniform. I'd also argue if Blue 4 was given 249s, it'd be another advantage because that gun is just amazing at CQC. But we do have to point out that a lot of this is open area around the objective. So Blue 4 could, you know, use the high ground, lock that down, put some 50 cal cars overwatching this area, and also use their helicopter to scout OPFOR coming in. So I feel like it's leaning a lot towards Blue 4 right now, despite what's given here. Jesus. So they have a script that does air sirens on the northern airfield. I mean, last time, no, this was 2 weeks ago, they had the radio mod playing a copyrighted song, 99 Balloons, I believe. That was pretty funny, but that's a nice little siren to get OPFOR started off on the northern side. Blue 4, they just have to play defense and a spaced out defense, so I could see them sending maybe a team or two down some MSRs with the 50 cal to try to intercept OPFOR as they come in. Also utilizing the air asset. It is important to note, I think PHK is flying this solo, so he's not going to have a co-pilot operating that camera. So it'll be up to his Mark 1 eyeballs, but I'm going to be honest, I think this is going to be a very powerful asset. If PHK loses it early, then it'll be a little more even. But again, at the squad level, the 50 cals are going to be very, very devastating. Now, I don't know if those Gazes have unscripted their GMGs. I'm going to assume yes, but if it's not, then the advantage is going to shift back to OPFOR, because AGSs are very, very nasty weapons, and it can just bombard the defensive area itself. So we'll just have to see how things go. But the mission has officially started, and we'll just have to see how things go. Blue 4, I mean, it's going to be easy for them to get to this AO with one car. OPFOR doesn't have a lot of wiggle room to set up an interception, so I think they're just going to go straight for the device AO. Air siren sounds like Dreams co-casting, Jesus. Yeah, I'm sorry if you missed the vote. 1 second, I'm going to turn the music up a little bit, just to enjoy the vibes. Some good old nostalgia here.
Ej, co się odwaliło?
No właśnie nie wiem.
Ej, co się odwaliło? Co jest?
Tu zginęliśmy.
Alright. I'm gonna mute myself because I don't know why I keep hearing people in the... Oh, because 3 people died. They... Not a good start for OFCRA. How did you already die? Because the only way I can hear people is if they die. Can hear that airfield siren going off, which is kind of cool with the music, but what? Maybe they can save Sayek. No, they're all dead. So I'm not sure if they'll be able to get a reinsert back in, but what has it, like, the past few OFCRA ops have always had just people dying in VIX early on. So I assume they play bumper cars, but it's a little disappointing, you know? OPFOR already getting a few people killed off. Locked vehicles have been unlocked, so I'm assuming that was a lock on the helicopter, so now it's allowed to take off. And you can see it doing just that. So OPFOR has a lot of decent positions to go up on a hill in Overwatch with their vehicle assets, but Blue4's already fanning a lot of forces out, and those 50 cals are going to be a really nasty force multiplier, especially if they use some of these to intercept some OPFOR groups coming in. And I think OPFOR knows that, and they're spacing out their approach, but who the heck knows at this point? Russian vehicles, Daisy taught me they're all shit. I mean, those are technically different engines, though. Now we just have to wait patiently here to see how OPFOR deploys and if Blue4 can do any proper interceptions. And it looks like they do have a convoy of VIX coming around. OPFOR already doing some dismounting. Again, I think those 50 cals are going to just do a lot of damage to OPFOR here. Yep, looks like they disconnected. Not sure if they'll be allowed back, but hey, shit happens, right? Might as well write the timestamp down, just edit it out later and see if I want to keep it. Before keeping a bit of a tight formation there. You got one Vic crossing over here. But Blue4 have a bit of a blind spot right here. They seem to be more concerned with looking up in this direction instead of covering around. And they also gave... Oh, Zixme has a freaking marksman rifle. Oh, dear. Hey, this is good music, man. Rules say you can't ram enemies, but there's nothing about ramming friendlies. That's funny. So we have a Gaz that's just pulled up to this corner. This is probably where our first point of contact's gonna be. I think Blue4 heard it. They've got AT prepped. They're not realizing that I think OPFOR is just dismounting right here to hold. Blue4 has this one force over here because I think they're planning for the HVI to come down this route. Hopefully they'll take a left turn right there because otherwise it's a little more exposed than they'd want. But I see this one guy running up north for... He's a blank AI. Thought I heard some gunshots up to the north. They hear that 50 cal. They're trying to drive it up. Mighty just giving their position away, though. He's waiting it out. I don't think he's realized that they've dismounted in that little forest there, right there. And OPFOR is laying low right here. They might have just heard that Vic. They're trying to wonder what to do. You know, they might be seeing the top of that RPG warhead, too. Now you're having the infantry starting to come in. Another group's come up to reinforce them. These OPFOR guys are in a lot of trouble because they don't realize they're at the tip of the hornet's nest here. Oh, I think OPFOR might have spotted Zixme walking around over here. Jonathan going low, not realizing that there's a bunch of bad guys to his right. Natashin sees Jonathan. Is he going to take the shot? BTR has moved up in the open. It is engaging. this blue 4-4 here because they got tunnel vision on that BTR. And now OFCRA might come in and start flanking. Get a few free kills on blue 4 here. Here's some shots going out. That's Natasha missing a 20-meter shot. Multiple 20-meter shots on these guys. AT goes out. Miss on that BTR. Smoke's been deployed. Zixme is in striking range, though. Mr. Bad Guy trying to come up and get some shots on these guys. Unable to land a hit. Wait, nope, Jonathan is dead. Okay, so it's giving me their symbols even if they die, which is not good. BTR was just hit by this Vic, so I think I have the wrong spectator interface. That's why. This might be the vanilla one instead of the ace one, which is why the settings are also a little different. All right, Mr. Bad Guy up here. Zixme taking some shots. Knocking out one OFCRA guy. Oh, he's ragdolled. His weapon's glitching out, so he is dead. So Zix is probably going to use the rest of this time to maneuver around and pick off a few dudes. Mr. Bad Guy's up here, a little close by. Otherwise, Jonathan's the only one that's died, and Zymax's the only one that's died here. That BTR... I thought I got hit, but it's pulling away right now. Zixme now doing a solo flank, which is some of the stuff he's really good at. We also have another OFCRA group with Zicky, the OFCRA equivalent, coming up here. Got Natashman, has gotten a kill here, probably on Hodgman. Or Hoptman. So we need to see Blue 4 rally and either try to engage and eliminate this OFCRA force, or Zixme just completely sweep them out. And we might see a flank on Natashan. Yeah, he did not see Zixme there, and I don't think Zixme saw Natash. Yeah, he's too busy looking around these openings, trying to see if OFCRA is going to try to maneuver. I don't think he's realized that he's also right next to their gas. I don't believe any Vics have thermals. Maybe the Little Bird did, but they don't have a co-pilot. We see this convoy now coming in on the rear of OFCRA's line. That's a really weird choice. That Little Bird is going to be providing audio masking. Got some shots coming up here. Just realized I don't think the tracers are working either, because I'd be seeing those tracer effects. Zixme just heard that. He's got a holographic on for CQC. He sees these two bodies. He's going to back off a little bit. Might try a bit of a more elaborate flank. There's still 3 OFCRA guys. Bad Guy is up here. Ooh, did Zixme just see him? Yes. Drops Natashan with 1 shot to the head. Question is, did the squad leader hear that that was a different gunshot? Zixme now reloading. I think Cub here knows something's up. He's trying to crawl around. Might have just spotted Zixme. But I think Zixme just got blown away by Cub. Yep. He was in the low ground. He was able to see that feet moving. I swear Zix got a headshot there, but I guess it was on the top and just ricocheted off. So you got 2 OFCRA survivors here. Blue 4 tried pulling into this town. It looks like they're pulling away. Grenade was thrown on Bad Guy's position. He's pulling back. Blue 4 is really stagnant right here. And I hope I'm not seeing Rizbo now firing down at potential friendlies. Might have just been a smoke grenade. Airstrike coming in right here. I think he's harassing the BTR. It does have a damage texture, which means that Moz hit was a weak hit that didn't do a significant amount of damage. But still caused some damage nonetheless. Yeah, at this range, they're probably not going to hit that Little Bird. I can't tell how close they're getting, though, because, again, the tracers aren't effective. Well, it looks like we're seeing a PKT being utilized here. They're trying to fire at that 50 cal Vic. Not the best idea, because that 50 cal Vic can easily shred this gas. But that PKP cannot do anything much to that 50 cal Humvee, with the exception of hitting the gunner, because those windows are bulletproof too, so it would take a lot of sustained fire to actually take it out. Otherwise, we have Blue 4 up here, kind of holding this hilltop. Op 4 slowly coming up. Not sure if Op 4 knows there's Blue 4 up there just yet, though they are taking this incredibly cautiously. Op 4 does have magnified optics, so they'd be able to see up there. Specifically, Zicky, again, one of the really good players here. With a PSO scope, he is being cautious about this. 7.62 by 54. It's pretty high caliber for the PKP. Same as the PKMs, the PKTs. Your general Russian machine gun. Fleesh is still up here. Looks like most of Blue 4's pulled back. And Op 4 is forming up in this town right here. Looks like they got one more Vic coming around. Though it was firing at that group earlier, so I'm not sure if they're trying to maraud around and find that Blue 4 group to try to finish them off. But at this rate, they're going to drive right into the Blue 4's defensive line here. And someone with a 136 might be able to take it out. They don't realize they've just driven up to the forest where Blue 4's all in. They would have just heard that UGL. Way over range, though. They fired another one, another big miss. Got the 240 Bravo trying to fire a Moz round going in. It's a miss, and that was a 136 round. I believe fired by Fury. No, it was not. That was Parthius, who was on the far corner in this little tower. Now he's trying to pick off anyone that gets out. Rocket cooks out, and also this Vic detonates and cooks off. Alexo is the only one left alive. But yeah, they had another Blue 4 Vic right here, and they're using those rear elements to clean up any Op 4 forces that stray away from the main group. Very brutal. Op 4 seem content on holding that ridge and not advancing. Which means they're waiting for something else, potentially this force, to get into position. But looks like there's going to be a pincer on the device itself. So Op 4 pulling their units out like this is only just going to cause them to lose extra forces early on and take extra casualties. Fleesh still holding defensive there. Bad Guy and Cub. I'm surprised they haven't taken the gas and tried to pull back yet, despite running into that Blue 4 group. And I would imagine that Falcon, yep, he's just running around in the HVI zone at this rate. And so Alexo was double tapped. And you still have this little bird flying overhead. And I think people are taking pot shots at that little bird, yeah. But it's flying too far and too fast for anyone to get a proper angle on it. You can already see that those tracers are short. At the angles that PHK is flying, he's making it incredibly difficult for any of those shots to even come close, to be honest. All right, looks like Op 4 down to the south is starting to do a bit of a spearhead. I can only assume that they've spotted that Blue 4 group up there. Or, again, they're just patiently waiting. But for what I don't know, it seems like all these groups are patiently waiting. Cub and Bad Guy within a few dozen meters of Fleesh. Oh, Fleesh is unconscious. Okay. Yeah, this is a different interface, because usually when they're unconscious, it gives me a different symbol, and when they're dead, they just don't come up on the map anymore. vanilla spectator instead of ace spectator, that's why. Hey, Nordic, how you doing? Yeah, we're playing all the old classics today. Alright, that's probably why that Blue 4 group fell back, because they took a few casualties. Blue 4 is trying to do raids. They could realistically take out this BTR if they have a visual on. I think that BTR is just kind of scout out what happened to that one group back there. And they might be able to get a nice spray on some of this Blue 4 element and pull back. We got the little bird. It's already sighted it. Unfortunately, it's not ranging its weapon properly, but that 7.62 isn't going to even do much. Oh, that was an impact sound. That was of 14.5 millimeter too, which would tear that little bird apart. He looks fine though. I'm not hearing any warning klaxons going off, and it looks like his glass is also good. So it might have hit the rear of his Vic and not been too effective. Oh my gosh, the little AI! The little AI that could. He's running up to the Blue 4 group in the open. That's hilarious. And it's shooting at the gas. Oh, that's hilarious. Meanwhile, it looks like this Blue 4 group is attempting to pull back as Op4... I'm not sure if they've engaged or if they're just holding fast, waiting for them to leave so they can continue this stealthy approach. No, they engage because he's dead. So Blue 4 are just going to concede that position and fold inwards. Now you're having Op4 starting to fold their units in to actually attack this objective. So Blue 4 needs to realize this and then pull their units back, because otherwise their actual defensive objective is going to be greatly underwhelmed.
Misplaying Arma.
Hey, Dead Walker, thanks for the 47-month resub. Hope you keep enjoying the operations, my man. Doors for Arma are open at any time. I hope you keep enjoying this scenario. So they've set up some impromptu positions here. No one's on that gun, though. Okay, Rixu is soloing this Vic, which is a very bad idea, because if he gets taken out, then Op4 can utilize that Vic against the rest of Blue 4. And conceding 50 cal Vics early on is a bad idea, because Op4 can just circle the AO and constantly barrage his position with 50 cal, or use it to try to run down the helicopter, because the helicopter speed isn't that big, to be honest. They can just stay under it and keep hitting it. So Op4 might be able to still clutch the W here if Blue 4 doesn't turn their forces back, because Blue 4, they've deployed this force. They know that Op4 has this major garrison here, and I think they're going to potentially try to start moving in soon. Got another Blue 4 group that's folded up here. They might be able to catch that other Op4 force out of position. We just saw a launch effect right here by an RPG gunner. Ah, he was taking out this this Vic, and he actually got a kill, I think, on Rick there. But that means that this Vic is not going to be stealable. Yep, so there goes Rixu. If Blue 4 keeps losing forces to Op4's advance here and doesn't fold, Blue 4 doesn't fold in those additional forces, I think Blue 4 is going to be in a lot of trouble. It's going to be up to Falcon to clutch the heck out of this. Civilization's 30th anniversary is today? Ah, yes. I'll celebrate by trying to petition Gandhi for peace, even though Gandhi wants nothing to do with it. What just... Alright, Op4 hit a fence, and it caused a significant amount of casualties. As I talked about warmongering Gandhi. Okay, interesting. You see, guys, warmongering Gandhi knows exactly where to hit you. He'll peacefully build fences, knowing full well you're going to run into them, ragdoll up in the air, and die. That's just how it works, baby. So, Op4 so far is potentially... 3 people have died to the map, another 2 might die. And you have an AI running around back here. Who this guy? Suffice to say, I have no idea what's going on anymore, and I am too scared to ask questions. OFCRA's got a few other units. Actually, it's just Sixor, I think, driving up with the gas. And Blue 4 still holding there. We still got those two OFCRA guys there as well, but at this rate, OFCRA has a really nice encirclement going on the actual objective, and Blue 4 just has too much of its force committed to trying to hunt down OFCRA. It was great in the beginning, but now they need to fold everything back in and play defense, because otherwise it won't count for Jack. OFCRA just can't drive. Yep. I can see that. We do have a 50 cal back at base right here. At least I thought I saw one. Yeah, here it is. It's Skibber, and it looks like we're hearing some marksman shots going out from the large tower. Enshot is ranging. Falcon's up in this tower, which is a really bad idea, because if those if that 14.5 starts firing up here, they're gonna be for a bad time. It's Edwards here trying to take those shots on the dudes on the hill. They're also starting to suppress it with 50 cal. I don't think these guys realize that they're under attack. Instead, they're too busy trying to pick off some Blue 4 guys closer by, but Kelnar might have just gotten a kill here. If not, he was one of the guys that killed one of the Blue 4 guys early on up on that hill. Blue 4 looks like they're sending a counter attack here to wave this out. Bad guy is alive with an RPG. Might bait those Blue 4 guys from coming close, but Blue 4 still holding on the side of this hill. This is Blue 4's biggest mistake right now. It's just giving OFCRA more time to do that medical over there and get their forces in. I don't like it. There's bad guy firing shots at Rizbo and Murdy. Now they're backing off, taking this a little more cautiously. A grenade is thrown. Actually, multiple grenades have been thrown, but they're a little short. Is he still alive? I would assume, because he has a map symbol. We had an RPG just get fired. I think he has a shock tactic more than anything. It hit a tree, unfortunately. You're still seeing those marksman fights here, but OFCRA is also on the edge of this tree line, ready to come in. Thought I saw blood, but no, it was just part of the ground. These guys can just slowly get up here with a support of the BTR. It'll stop everything and just suppress everything up in that hill. Arma being Arma. Damn right, Nordic. How are you doing, my friend? I hope FNF has been to your liking. Thank you for all of your support on the channel, and I hope you continue to enjoy the operations. So Fleesh is still bleeding out. Bad guy and Cubber pulling back, and Rizbo, Murdy, and Cut just don't know what to do here. It looks like Rizbo was prone, and he's trying to do medical. And Blue 4 still up on that ridge. I think OFCRA's ready. They're waiting for this fix to come up, and we're probably going to see a massive Thunder Run. Little Bird coming around is going to probably do another dive attack. No, it's firing out the smoke, potentially into friendlies. Neat. So with that Vic up there ready to go, we might just see everything start to fold in. And Blue 4 is remounting their forces here. Maybe because they see this attack coming in, so this Blue 4 force might try to go on the rear of this attack to flank it. But that's not going to help the other forces that are already close enough to strike this position. I think they could still encircle and overwhelm, but if that BTR gets within striking distance of that battle tower and starts shredding it with 14.5, there's a good chance they'll be able to snipe the scientist. Holy crap, who made that shot? McHale getting a nice hit on the Little Bird. Looks like it was superficial damage. But the fact he was able to actually get that shot in the first place is pretty good. So you're still hearing more of that 50 cal firing. At this point, they need to keep it as a defensive static in case they spot that BTR. Just suppressing it blindly up here is just going to burn ammo at this point. I'll do my best, Molotov. Oh, you're the other NASA that was spectating, right? Nice. Now, OFCRA, I think they're bringing the vehicles down here Blue 4 still mounting in those Vics. We got another Vic, though, that was over here mounted. Now we just have to wait for the gap to be closed. I think the gap... Yeah, no, we've got Op4 sending a few trucks up here. A Blue 4 truck folded back. That, I believe, was a guy that was picked off. So now they're going to encroach even more on this position. Op4 is playing this cautiously, which is good because that's allowing time for all of their forces to get in position despite a few mishaps. But they're really relying on Blue 4's lax attitude here, but that might be about to change because we see Blue 4 charging in. If Blue 4 dismounts in Novi, this might become an issue. They need to work with their little bird to realize Op4 is already moving on, and they need to start moving in the rear of Op4's forces and sweeping and clearing, but it looks like they're going to dismount Novi instead. Not what you want to see right now. So Mikkel still in the back here, might be watching these guys over here. We did have an Op4 dude back here, Sayak. Oh, his body was brought up here after his car was probably recovered after they hit something that killed them all. I honestly don't know what they hit. But now Op4, look at all of this stuff around the objective. They just, Op4 deployed their guys even further up. They can now run up. They might wait for those guys to be in position. So Op4 probably has 1 or 2 units on Overwatch right now. You got these guys folding back, but looks like they're actually don't know where they're going. They might go back up to that northern hill to distract. And then this group starts firing as this other group just charges right in, dismounts in the town of Gogolovo, and they move building to building to get to the actual compound. Yeah, most of these buildings are cereal boxes because this is Chernarus Autumn. Doesn't have any of those updates on it. But the only way I can see Blue 4 surviving this is there's 2 possibilities. 1, Falcon becomes God, or 2, Blue 4 is able to fold in this force in time and harass one of the major assaults, and Blue 4, in terms of their defensive group, is able to survive the rest. Otherwise, it is looking in Op4's favor because they have the better deployment strategy. See, but Blue 4... Yep, so some groups folded back. They really have to set up a proactive defense right here, though. I'm not sure if they, if this can actually be destroyed or if it's an ace interaction. But a few good RPGs from someone like climbing up on this is all they need. Thankfully, with all these sandbags here, it makes it a little tougher for it to be sniped from range, but Op4 could easily overwhelm that position. And Blue 4 is just sweeping and clearing the town. They're playing this a little too... how do I put it? Overcautiously. But you don't want, as a defender, to play your counter-attack game super cautiously. You want that to be super fast and loose. Because if your opponent's playing fast and loose, you're never going to catch them. But I think it's because they've already been taking out a few people... All right, Nordic. We'll after this stream, we'll boot up Pay for Pain, and we'll take a few pre-orders too. Why not? Because I have my mission file done for tonight. But righto, man. We'll set up some orders. Fast and loose, Liru. Don't even get me started, Zam. Heard some AT land in the distance. I have no idea what that might have been on, but I think Blue 4 is playing this super cautiously because they already did it this way and were able to intercept a few Op4 vehicles and get some free kills. But roster-wise, Blue 4, at least some of the guys that stayed on, there's still a few casualties on both sides. Most of Op4's KIAs have left, but Op4 still has the numbers advantage here. Barely, but they do. So every guy counts at this AO, and it doesn't help that there's... Again, half of Blue 4 is out hunting while the other half is chilling. But Op4 is... Everything seems to be in position here for the most part. I think they're just waiting for this force to get up here to initiate the attack from that tree line. Yeah, because from there they could actually look up and harass that tower and start pulling eyes over in that direction where they still have a good bit of a mix of concealment with the branches of the pine trees than actual cover from the tree trunks. And then once everyone's pulled away, then you'll see forces charge in. I'm a little worried here, but at the... Whoop. Just saw a long-range Moz shot go in. I guess trying to hit the commander. I have no idea what that's for. Might be Blue 4 trying to hit him. Blue 4's also taking a few Op 4 Vicks. That's why you're seeing that color change. I'm not sure how much McLean is microing this, but if he's taken out early by that large Blue 4 group, I wonder what impact that would have on Op 4's plan here. Yeah, the BTR is still on an Overwatch. No, it's not even on Overwatch. This is more of a reserve position. I'd think they'd want to open with the BTR engaging from range, but it's not really in a good spot right now. Because the BTR shredding that battle tower with 14.5, for example, that would be the best call they make, so they can at least keep anyone on the high ground from suppressing any infantry movements coming in. So Op4's now on this position. I'm just trying to wait and see, like, what's Op4's plan here? Are they going to move? Are they going to move that BTR in position and then charge their infantry up? Are we going to see a vehicle rush? Or are we going to see them try to move on foot? I think a vehicle rush would be slightly better. To have that BTR keep anyone's head down on that battle tower and watch the vehicles just dismount right outside the towns. But again, the one fear is these 50 cal cars in the way. So I get why Op4 is taking this incredibly cautiously, but Blue 4 has that helicopter, and they have to assume, they being Op4 in this case, has to assume that Blue 4 is actively trying to counter their movements. We're seeing Op4 now folding stuff behind. I think Op4's realized that there's a lot of Blue 4 forces in that town, and now they're committing forces back to keep them cut off. That's a really good idea, actually. Keep these units mobile. Only commit, yeah, Mr. Bad Guy and Cub here in the PKT and then the PTR to drive around and just keep these guys suppressed. That is ingenious. So now you know you've locked down a Blue 4 group from the AO itself. McLean also firing, taking pot shots. No, that's great. So then he can commit most of his forces to the attack itself and keep a lot of Blue 4 out of the fight. That's great. That is very, very great. I'm happy McLean's going to capitalize on that. I'm not sure if he's realized just how many forces are in here, but even if it's like, you know, 5 or 6, that would make it worth it if he's committing just a handful of his own guys to counter something like that. This means, though, that he does not want to use the BTR to support his force here. He's going to have another force doing that support, but what it is, I don't know yet. He wasn't able to capture that 50 cal car. If he was, then that would be the supporting element to do, because it could puncture the armor of that battle tower, but otherwise, I don't know. I think he's just going to put his units in. Got the Little Bird doing a strike here. You got the cars driving around. It is distracting that Blue 4 group. It is keeping them from remounting. Even though it looks like they are trying to get some of their Vicks up to potentially counter those Vicks, but where is Op4's movement at this point? Moz round coming in, it is just short. Now you have this Vic returning fire. Now they're going to pull back instead. So, I mean, this would be great if Op4 began their attack on this objective, but it's just, it's extending the timer, you know? We're waiting to see Op4 commit their attack, but I guess they're waiting on this group to get closer because it was up on the hill back here. It's moved up a few hundred meters, but beyond that, Op4 is just burning time. Maybe now McLean's recommitting these units to begin the attack here, thinking that that's enough to slow down Blue 4. But he's got to move quickly. Because Blue 4 is probably only going to spend a few minutes remounting and then pushing back to the defensive, or trying to attack some of Op4's forces, at least where they perceive them going. Which again would be where this BTR and this Vic have gone, so if they're critical to Mikkel's plan, that could get dropped pretty easily. Alright, so we got Op4 utilizing 2 gun cars here. They're being solo crewed to harass. Now we're probably going to start seeing this force move in. This force already trying to come in, but honestly, I think a car, a Vic rush of some sort would be a lot better. We got that little bird now following up. You know, where's the follow-up? And what are you doing? You know, I guess sometimes it's not about who wins or loses. It's about the road not taken. And sometimes you just gotta walk on out of here as the gunshots start before the craziness comes, because the nerves get the better of you. So screw you guys. He's going home. I really don't know what else to do with that one. That's the first I've seen. Sure, why not? Leaving in Fallout, you just changed everything. You're just like, all right, I'm out. Perfect. All right, now we might see some Op4 Thunder running here. BTR might actually load up all this infantry and they might push in. Jazz also coming up. Blue 4 still not mounting in their Vics because they're trying to figure out where that contact came from. Who's the commander? It's Man Show. So he doesn't realize that he's completely surrounded yet. I think his pilot might be telling him though, but it's really tough to tell. It's heard an RPG fire. I have no idea where that went off to. Sounded like it flew back there though, so I'm all the more part of who the heck knows. All these 50 cals though, it does make this assaulting this really difficult, which all the more reason to pick a spot in the dismount. Oh, RPG's going up on the tower, and that might have just killed. That just killed Blue 4 Command. Falcon's running up. He's going to quickly realize, because he can't drag him, that he's dead. An RPG snipe gets another guy and also eliminates Falcon. He's still unconscious. He can still wake back up. How's this guy? Bluck also in the downed animation. That's why you don't go up to where people might have died. Another RPG going up. Wow. I said earlier, this tower was a really bad idea because it could be penetrated by heavy calibers. I wasn't expecting AT to do it. I was expecting a 50 cal or the Op4's 14.5 millimeter, but hey, I guess AT works too. So Blue 4 has no commander now. He is dead. HVI is unconscious. And now you have Op4 charging in and getting right on top of this position. There's the 14.5 millimeter of the BTR suppressing the top here. And now Blue 4 starting to drive in, but it might already be too late. A Maz round going in point blank, killing Solik. Oh, he's still unconscious. That was a really interesting choice for Skipper to fire that, but now Op4 getting right on top of this position, and we're starting to see the main attack be carried out, as Op4 is now committing things in every direction to try to surround this force. Falcon's still unconscious, but wow. Other Vic now driving up. They found a good blind spot here. There we go, Op4 doing a big dismount. BTR tracking as it follows up. Blue 4 can commit and get right behind them, but Op4, if they're quick, they can move right in. BTR just charging in. That AT shot misses. And they're blowing up some fuel containers. and eliminating Blue 4 to allow Blue 4 to get right up here. There's the BTR finally goes down. Despo comes in. A lot of OFCRA guys have died. That Vic gets blown up. And Montana comes in and sweeps the remaining units here. Now we have absolute chaos. The camo net for the device was taken out. It is exposed. Falcon still hasn't bled out yet. OFCRA needs to commit the rest of their forces, and Blue 4 quickly bringing up reinforcements. More AT coming in as you're now seeing the Little Bird trying to strafe what remains of this initial OFCRA push. Blue 4 might be able to bounce back because they were unable to hit the device. Looks like it's damaged, but they need another AT shot on it to take it out. Because as long as they blow it up, I think it's GG at that point. A lot of OFCRA are down right here, but the rest just need to continue maneuvering up. They need to get Mr. Bad Guy up to a striking position with that RPG. Derp, I think it was already a Charlie Foxtrot. More OFCRA coming in from the north. Blue 4 dismounting their infantry early on to sweep in from the rear of this attack wave. Smoke's being thrown out. Looks like they're popping red smoke on this position. Trying to coordinate air to engage, as air is also strafing some of OFCRA coming up here. AT going up in that tower, causing it to change to a damaged animation. If it's taken out, we'll probably see Falcon go down. More AT being fired. They're firing at the 50 cal Vix. Bad Guy taking another shot. That device is still up. OFCRA right on top of the northern side here, as Blue 4 is closing the gap. Numbers-wise, it is in Blue 4's pocket. They just need to maintain this numbers advantage. Diablo has turned around. He's engaging forces coming up. Was able to get a kill with his AK, but he is being flanked by Rigel on the right side, taking significant damage. Rigel going prone. Might be able to see his leg. More GLs going off. Another explosive going on this tower, and that takes the tower out. Miraculously, Falcon is still alive. And since he's in the capture zone, it would still count, even though I think he's gonna bleed out by then, but holy crap. Got Blue 4 now sweeping the rest of these forces here. OFCRA has a handful remaining. AT going back and forth here. Now Blue 4 has no choice but to sweep and clear the area before they can go up there and administer medical to Falcon, so it's unlikely that that's gonna happen. OFCRA still has a few guys right here. They've been unable to fully destroy the device yet. But now you got OFCRA coming up. You've got Ziki here and Ibnek, some really good OFCRA players. And Falcon has died. So OFCRA has 2 points on the board for killing the scientist. Falcon's got a field back because all he did was play and then got RPG'd. He's probably going to come into chat in a minute or two. Bad Guy getting shot by a high caliber weapon. Sounds like a marksman rifle. GL going off. The 50 cals are now trying to circle. If OFCRA can get AT on this device, the op will be over. Ibnek is up here. He's planting explosives. This might be it. Blue 4 might have just lost. Ibnek quickly trying to get away. I think he set it to a timer. I think it's GG. Yeah, Falcon, you got RPG'd on the tower. One RPG killed the commander. Second RPG knocked you and the other guy out. And the third RPG just made sure you stayed down. It was, oh, brutal. And there it is. OFCRA has just won. We're going to wait for the official board to come up in case I'm wrong, but with the scientist dead and the device destroyed, Vlad coming up here realizing the device has been destroyed. Even if OFCRA gets fully wiped, I think it is officially an OFCRA victory. Wow.
Send in Team 6.
Boom, baby.
Well, Falcon, the device was just destroyed, which is worth more points, though. Radjack, thanks for the 613 sub. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. So Murdy's taken, I know he has a 240 Bravo. He's just trying to eliminate who he can. Invo is dead. But go ahead, give your ran. Looks like this place was sweet by Rigel. Cup chilling right here. Mr. Bad Guy might have just dropped Rigel. Goes into unconscious animation. Bad Guy goes in, tries to sweep, and it looks like Goatland takes both of them out. Little ragdoll Mr. Bad Guy. OFCRA still has a good chunk of forces to the north, though. We have Sixor who's come up here, trades with Murdy as Cookie then takes him out, and some follow-up shots by Baku. Falcon complained about his medic. Ooh, Zicky woke back up and is doing some medical. Not out of the fight just yet. Has a 136. I'll be curious to see what he does. He's already on 2 kills. I think Cyrus was just taken out. Pogo coming up. Nemesis with his marksman rifle trying to pick off some OPFOR guys that are up here on the ridge. Might have just knocked out OPFOR command. Nemesis not credited with the kill, though. More smokes deployed. I'd imagine Bluck is dead. Yep, so they've all bled out. Again, numbers looking pretty even. Nemesis is unfortunately flanked and taken out by Pogo. Ragdolls. Let's see if Pogo... Yeah, he's got the pistol out. Here comes the double tap shots. Still could wake back up, but now it's very unlikely because of that extra bleed out. Yeah, every time Falcon plays OFCRA, he gets screwed. But every time he doesn't play, the ops go in a fashion that if Falcon was there, he probably would have enjoyed. It's pretty funny. And then Falcon has been friendly fired in FNF every week he's played for the past like 6 weeks. It's a really funny phenomenon. Now the question is, can OPFOR actually pull out on top here with their remaining force? It's still leaning on Blue 4, but only by an additional 1 or 2 dudes. And we got some heavy hitters like Zicky, Brewer, and Pogo marauding around. This could still swing either way. But it looks like they just took out Cookie. Put some shots on Nannard, who goes prone. Medical box is cooking off. That symbol just appeared. Oh, because he's on this Vic right here trying to flank whatever OPFOR is still up. It's Hippie, who might have just gotten the kill on Cheeseburger here. Zicky moving up, trying to secure some more kills. He is on 3 now. And Brewer coming up to assist. Yeah, the vanilla spectator, I'll tell NASA to make sure it's on ace instead of vanilla because it makes tracking who's still alive while we're in this interface a little difficult. Ziggy taking out the 136. Fires it way over, though. That's going to go detonate somewhere over there. Brewer coming up. Drops 2. Great flank by Brewer there, completely reducing Baku and Nannard's cover. The one plus about this interface is you can still see them after they die, so you know who they killed. Brewer coming up, trying to get a shot in Goatland, who's another really good player. FAWR, looks like their Steam tickets are getting themselves kicked. Now they're turning into mindless AI. But look at this, OPFOR now has the numbers advantage here. Goatland now trying to push up. He's going to probably catch Brewer out of position. No, he doesn't turn the corner to check Brewer. So that bout of aggression almost paid off for Goatland, but he didn't commit a little more. It's like he's looting Cthulhu's body for some stuff. Maybe grenades. I still love how Blue 4 Command is up here dead, floating on the tower. Goatland taking some pot shots. He gets crippled for it. Finds the dead scientist up there. Falcon is pretty angry, and Goatland then gets picked off because going up there is a death sentence. I think Jonathan was delivering the killing shot there, though he is only unconscious, so Goatland could still wake back up. Yeah, righto, Falcon. Hope you don't get friendly fired. More AT going up there to ensure Goatland doesn't wake back up. Holy crap. Just look at the carnage. The only two people that are still alive is Demovar, who's unconscious, and I think Fontana. No, it's Timek, who is also unconscious. More grenades going off right here. Edwards forced to maneuver around. I don't know who that is. He looks lost. This might have been the commander that walked off. He came back just to watch all of his men die. Whew. Toughy. Then you have Lcpl, who might just be unconscious in that gun. Yeah, because there's only the gunner in there. Edward overexposing. Catches Brewer on the reload, but is unable to get the reload. Switches to his handgun. And they trade. Wasn't expecting that one. They're both unconscious. Jesus. What just happened? Who's gonna wake up first? All right, come on. Who's gonna win the wake-up war? They might both just stay down because both of them got shot to shit. Jesus. Body armor, man. I think that AI just died. Yep. How unfortunate. Honestly, through players like Zicky and Brewer, who are able to get really good 3-1, 4-1 KDs, OP4 has turned this around. I thought they were going to lose it and get encircled, but Blue 4 lost a lot of dudes, almost their entire counterattack wave right here. And the Northern OP4 group was able to just completely bulldoze what remained. Doesn't help that Blue 4 lost their commander and some of their forces in the battle tower up here. What really screwed Blue 4 was they committed way too many forces in hunting down OP4's units. And although it helped them out early on, and it helped reduce OP4's number advantage, I think Brewer just bled out, but so did Edward. They didn't then recommit those forces to come back. What just exploded? The helicopter just crashed. Excellent. Still got Hippie out to the north. All these remaining guys, I believe, are unconscious, and we got this one car right here with Parthius and Fury Gamer, but this raid, I think OP4 has also scored the supremacy bonus by eliminating Blue 4 to be 5 or less players. I'm not going to question how PHK crashed. I'm just going to go with the flow. Well, Falcon, headsets are expensive, so I hope you don't do that. I don't know what that gunfire was about, but who knows at this point. Falcon, just give me the money, all right? How about instead of breaking the headset, you just give me the value of the headset and it's considered breaking it, you know? That way, you still get your frustration out, and I make some money. Settler coming up on Hippie's rear. Hippie trying to kill this one player. Settler suppressing. He goes prone, but keeps his head exposed because he's reloading. But Hippie runs out of ammo at the worst possible time. Hippie jumps away and then gets mag dumped by Settler as he pulls that handgun out. Corsair elites. Blue 4 driving up with 2 more dudes. Wait, where's Fury Gamer? Is he dead in there? Fury Gamer, this is no place to take a furry nap. Where is he? What? Wait. No, Ron Vic, that's why. Did he just randomly bleed out in the Vic? I can't even scroll in there. Oh, he's down. Yeah. So here, let's look at Parthius, and then we can go to his third-person camera. Yeah, no, he's... Yeah, he went unconscious there, so now Parthius is going to try to do medical. But he is not a medic himself, so... Last man standing, technically. I was not expecting this fight to go this way. I thought Blue 4 would be able to pull it back in time, but... Oh well. Parthius has done the best he can. Last man standing, let's go. And through here... Well, no, even if Parthius wipes everyone, Blue 4 still loses. I mean, granted, I guess this was a good idea because Blue 4 is going to use the device to cause a new DayZ scenario, and the Russians just didn't want to make another walking simulator, so... I guess in reality, we've all won because the Russians were able to stop Blue 4 from doing such a heinous act. I love how Juno's combat looting. That might have actually managed to save him. Primo now coming in. And Parthius gets dropped by Primo. That is GG. All right. Looks like it's over, yeah. We'll see the official payout. We're going to do some pay for pain dev after this because this ended early. I'll give it like 30 to 45 minutes and we'll see how things go. They always do a secondary mission after. I usually don't like to cover those because it's with like a fraction of the people and I save that to Tuesday. But yeah, quick round. Only technically an hour because of the 10-minute save start. And there it is. The scientist is inside the zone, but he died, so I guess that means they score points, but the scientist was also killed, so Op4 gets those points. They didn't get the supremacy bonus, probably because there's still a bunch of unconscious people, but still, it's, yeah, cut and dry. All right. Thank you so much for watching, guys. That will not be it. I'm sorry, because we're going to go mission dev now.